Let's have a look at cell references in this video. You can reference cells within Excel environment, and there are four different type of references that you can make, and each one of them have their own um, use case that you, depending on what you are doing, you can utilize them. Let's have a look at these references. I am going to create a simple table here. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what does that mean referencing? The first type of reference is just a relative reference. It just picks the location of the first cell that you select, and it will move it by one row or by one column depending on the direction that you are going. Let's say that I am located now on cell F7. I'm going to click equal and I am going to select B3 here, which is number 1. And it is going to select 1 that is here. Now, if I drag it to the right, as you can see, it will continue getting exact same values that we have. And then for the ones that are empty, it's going to show 0 values. And if I drag it down, it will do the same thing. It will pick relative to the location of the first cell that I referenced, it will pick the other cells that are located, and it will basically exactly replicate what I had in the first instance. Now, this is the first relative reference. The second one is absolute reference. If I select plus and then let's select the 4 value here, and then you hit F4 depending on the keyboard that you have, or function F4, then you would see that a $sign will appear before the column name and before the row name. So $B $4. Absolute reference means that no matter where you go, right, left, up, or down, it will always reference the cell that you have selected. So if I go all the way to the right, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top, it will always show me that 4 number. This was the second type. Now let's have a look at the third type, and that is when you want to fix the column, so fixed column reference. In this scenario, I am going to reference a 5 here. So I am going to fix it on column C. Now, if I select 5 here, C4, in order to fix a column, you would just have to add a $sign before column name, which is C here. Or you would basically select F4 or function F4 a couple of times until you see this representation of the reference here. Now it means that wherever I move, it will always reference column C. I can move to the right. If I move to the top, it will pick 2 because I haven't fixed the row, but I have fixed the column. So it is going to pick 2 anyway. And if I added 3, 10, 20, 20 is outside of our range because it is not in column C, but just as an example. And if I continue going down, it is going to pick 3 and it is going to pick 10. Wherever you go, it will always reference column C. And the last type of the reference, as you would have guessed, probably is when you would like to fix the row instead of the column. So fixed row, very similar to previous example. If I selected, let's say 6 here, in that instance, again, I am going to go with F4 or function F4. This is absolute, the first one. The second one that you, the second time that you press F4 or function F4, it will fix on number 4 by adding a $sign before that, as you can see, and it will fix it on the row 4. Now, what does it mean? It means that It doesn't, as you can see, it doesn't impact the column because we are not moving in the column section, but no matter where you go, horizontally or vertically, it will stick to the row that you had selected. And that is the number 6 that appears here. Now let's have a look at a very small example where it can help you better understand it with using of SUMIFS function. Let's say that we have a very simple data set where you have product, country, and style, and you would like to have a simple table here that has products on the rows and then countries on the column, and you would like to calculate the sum for these combinations. So my products are A, B, C, and D, and then my countries are UK, France, and Germany. If I used SUMIFS, the SUMIFS works in a way that first you will give it a range for calculation, and in my case, it is located in column C. So I will select all of that. And for entire set of my calculation, I would like always the calculations to be on the range that I have selected here. So as you would imagine, this is the absolute reference that we would like to apply. Now, if you click on F4 or function F4, it will apply $sign for rows and columns, and that is exactly what I want. The second option is that I need to give it the first criteria range. The first criteria range that I have is product. So I will select my product here. And again, I am going to make it absolute here. And then I will select the first product that appears here, A. Now, bear in mind, we want to fix it on this column, on column E, because no matter in which direction we move, right, left, bottom, or up, we would always want it to look at this value that is located in column E. And therefore, you would give it a reference on fixing the column, which is shown by a $sign before E. The other criteria that we would like to apply is related to the country. Again, I will select my range here and I will make it absolute again because I always would like it to look it up this exact column from my data set. And then I will select the headers that I have here, UK. And this time, no matter what, when I drag my formulas down, I would always like the formula to reference this specific row here, and therefore you would fix the row in this instance. 10. Now, the beauty of it is that you can just drag your formula all the way to the right and to the down, and it will calculate everything correctly for you. And if you click on any one of the cells, you will see it correctly referencing the row and the column that you were interested in. This was a video on the references in Excel. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Thank you.